Alright, hey, we're back!
Hey,
You know
yo.
what? This is our first recording as a group of the new anniversary edition of Echo.
Yay!
So, we've gotten through all of Carl's route, all of Flynn's route, we're halfway through TJ's route, but I wanted to go back and show you guys the one thing we missed for the anniversary update.
I'll bit me.
Oh, that's no good.
That lady.
And there,
That girl.
crouching over him, is something I can't explain. Just to remind you, this is when they found Duke after he stole Chase's car and got into some accident and is dead on the road.
Whoa, gosh!
Jeez.
Hairless, body and limbs long. Way too long. The head comes up, and all I can see are 3 holes and blood. TJ screams next to me, and Leo shouts something before stepping on the gas, slamming me back into my seat. Either way, that's it.
Oh, shit.
Also, they corrected a lot of typos.
Yeah, a lot of typos have been fixed.
So they really, so they are leaning into the paranormal kind of thing.
Well, I mean, that was the thing. Like, this still could technically have been a hallucination for the group. A collective hallucination, but a hallucination nonetheless. And this was there beforehand. This was just them mentioning. This is them adding an image for us to see what the characters were seeing finally.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I remember those words were there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have nightmares now.
Nah,
I'm gonna wake up in the
fine.
middle of the night and be like, why do I have a
Look at
nightmare?
him. Look at him, DJ. He's just wanting
So
to say
cute.
hi.
so cute.
I want a plushie doll of him now.
Just a bunch of straws.
You just want to talk to him. You want to hug him. You want to have a little nice pull string so his voice band can go, "There will be no survivors."
Kill them all. There will be no survive. This is why we need inscription.
Well, I mean, we can do inscription after we wrap up Echo tonight if you guys are still up for that for some reason. But usually you guys get tired, so.
I do have to leave,
Okay.
but I might be back depending. I don't know. Probably not though.
Yeah, it'd be around 10:30 if you are able to be back for it.
Try.
It also depends on if Seb needs to go. So.
I'll probably have to go.
Okay.
Then yeah, I
fair.
probably won't be back then.
Then we'll bring Echo back, or not Echo, inscription back at some point in the future.
Yeah.
Once I not do school, yeah. Probably.
Yeah, the summer
Most
would be
likely.
probably a good time for it. Either way, time to get on to the route that we were doing. This was, going through here piece by piece. Am I missing some of my saves now? Why is that one empty? I wonder what happened to that
That's
one.
weird.
So this is Carl's route, that's fine. I don't know why that little bit's empty there for Leo's. This is TJ, I'm just double checking now. My own personal ones. Okay, yeah, no, we're fine. Just weird that that one's empty. Either way, last time we left off, they were doing a scavenger hunt. They found that the clue, according to Sydney's note, is to go to a birdhouse in the woods. And I mean, it's been 12 years, so that note's probably not going to be, or the next clue's not going to be here. So, you know. You guys ready to continue the scavenger hunt?
Yep. It sounds like it's gonna be a really bad idea, though.
Do the bad idea dance.
Woo!
Hooray! The forest is really just a patch of trees on the side of the road near Leo's house. While it's technically small, it still covers several acres, which is enough to get lost in. The sky's a soft blue now, just enough light to see by. It won't be long before that won't be the case, though. I pull off to the side of the road, in the spot where I think the birdhouse might be. It's been well over a decade since the last time I've seen it. This is probably where the treasure hunt is going to end, considering the time that's passed. The birdhouse probably isn't even there anymore. We all step out of the car into the warm evening air. Carl folds his arms on the hood of the car and grins at me. since we don't have a Matt, do you want to be Carl, Seb?
Sure. See? Even when the sun's gone roasting, at least you can drive me home now.
Yeah. I look over at Leo's house, but his truck is gone. TJ catches my glance.
I might tell him what's going on if we find something and you want him to join us.
TJ picks at his claws. It's alright. I give him a quick side
Not-
hug. We don't need him in this route. You know, he had a lot of screen time in the last route. Just too
I
much.
didn't. That's the thing.
No. It's too much screen time. We're good. I give him a quick side hug as we step up to the edge of the trees. I can see why TJ doesn't want to tell Leo about this. He was right about Leo pretending it didn't happen. I can't imagine it would go well if we told him about dredging up Sydney's old scavenger hunts.
So, where is it?
Jenna looks into the empty ditch between us and the forest, wrinkling her nose at the old scraps of garbage inside.
Oh, sorry. Well,
Carl looks up and down the tree line, squinting.
it kind of looks different now, but I think it's about here. It's only like 10 feet in, right?
Carl looks at me. That sounds about right.
We can fan out and check all the trees that close to the road.
Oh no.
TJ jumps across the ditch lightly, much more lightly than the clumsy hop I execute right after. I land unevenly on the opposite incline and windmill my arms as I lean back. Carl starts laughing before I even fall, but TJ reaches out and grabs me by my shirt, yanking me back up the ditch. I fall into him awkwardly and quickly step back, brushing myself off, even though there isn't anything on me.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, thanks. I glare over at Carl, who's still laughing.
Did you try, man?
He leaps over easily, clearing the ditch along with a few more feet. That's not fair. I'm an otter.
Don't let that hold you back from achieving your dreams.
Is it loading really slow for you, Seb?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Jenna elects to delicately step around the garbage before climbing up the other side.
Okay, you swim better than any of us. It's okay, you swim better than any of us, Chase.
Don't worry, I know how to speak botched lines. I am an expert at this. Blah blah. Oh, TJ.
Yeah.
I turn back to the forest, which is much darker as the light struggles to filter through the branches and leaves. Well, let's start before it gets too dark. As we spread out amongst the trees, I'm struck with how quiet it is. The only sound is the crunch of our feet on the dead vegetation, and that starts to fade as the others move further away from me. I zigzag through the trees, trying to get a look at their full circumferences. From what I remember, the birdhouse was a plain old wooden thing that hardly stood out from the trunk that it was attached to. We might not even see it if we were looking right at it. While it's been a long time, walking between these trees does bring back some memories. We stopped coming here after what happened to Sydney, mainly because this was his favorite place to hang out. He liked to play capture the flag here. I can still remember how fast he was, how I'd only catch glimpses of his tail between the trees before he disappeared with the flag. His team won almost every time. The summer of 2002 was the last time we played. Sydney had even been getting along better with TJ then. That might have been the best summer of my life until it happened. It was almost like Gecko saw us having too much fun and wanted to end it. For good. Sydney had still been a dick, though. The image of Sydney whipping TJ mercilessly with the towel we used as a flag comes to mind. I move closer to the edge of the tree line before slanting back in again. Looking up between the branches, I see that the sky is a darker blue now. Pretty soon it'll be pitch black. It was about this light last time I was here. I'd come alone when I was 10, maybe 9. It's hard to remember now, but I think I'd gone there because I was sad. I'd had good memories of the forest, so I thought going there might make me feel better. I was standing in the forest, waiting to see if I did feel better. It didn't happen, so I sat down on the leaves and started crying. I was there for maybe 5 minutes before I heard some branches creeping above me. I looked and saw feet swinging around. This confused me, so I stood up and backed away, before staring up as I slowly realized I was seeing a fox being hung by its neck. Even now, I can remember the way he looked, his overalls, his white shirt. His head had been tilted down toward me, his tongue lolling out of his muzzle, his eyes blank. I even remember what looked like pinkish red blood on the white fur of his chin. Then I tripped over a branch, and when I looked back up, he was gone. I can't remember much after that except I had gone home and told my parents. That ended up with me seeing a doctor. They never found anything wrong with me, at least anything that might relate to seeing things. In the end, we were told that sometimes kids hallucinate, that it would stop happening as I got older. I hugged myself, feeling cold and a little scared now that I brought up that old memory. While I know I was at the age where kids hallucinate most often, I still can't get out of my mind how real it had been. Still, that's not exactly what's giving me the chills right now, because I just realized that had been the summer after Sydney passed. That's why I was sad, because I remembered how happy the summer before had been. So what Sydney wrote doesn't make any sense, unless I'm going crazy. A creak behind me makes me jump, and I whirl around, eyes scanning the branches, terrified of what I might find. But there's nothing there, just branches creaking in the wind. I stare for a while longer, before a shout from far down the line of trees make me jump.
Found it!
It's TJ's voice, high-pitched and excited. I shake myself out of my trance and start jogging towards the lynx's voice came from. Wow, I skip over words quite often. Toward where the lynx's voice came from. Maybe I've confused things and I'm just remembering things incorrectly. It's the only thing that makes sense. As I come up on the lynx, Carl and Jenna are already there, standing around a tree trunk. Sure enough, a little wooden birdhouse is tied to the trunk with rusty wires.
Well, he's got to catch up.
There we go. I can't believe it's still here.
It does look pretty beat up.
Jenna points to a little wooden plug in the opening.
It's closed up.
Think it's been closed this whole time?
I don't know, maybe.
TJ pokes at the plug with a claw, then grips around the edges with all of his claws before gently pulling the wooden cork-like thing out. A thick, sticky-looking trail of cobwebs follow it. We all stare into the dark holes that's revealed.
So rude.
Jace, wanna reach in there? I'm sure it ain't any spiders.
I shiver involuntarily.
I tried to say something and then suddenly my throat was like, no.
That happens all the time.
It was
It's just
like-
happened to me.
Oh god. I don't really want to either.
Jenna sighs before pushing past TJ.
Uh,
Bending over, she picks up a twig and sticks it into the hole before swirling it around. When she pulls it back, ow, it's like she's made a cotton candy cone of spider webs. She drops that, then takes out her phone, turning on the flash before holding it up to the opening.
Well,
We all wait anxiously for her to say something.
there is something here.
With that, she reaches in with just her fingers. After a few crinkling sounds, she pulls out a Ziploc bag, and inside is a folded up piece of paper and a blue comb.
Holy shit. No way.
Well, no one ever comes back here, so I guess it makes sense.
He actually put a comb in there to make it rhyme?
Jenna makes a few jerking motions away from the birdhouse to get rid of the cobwebs. She looks around, then sticks it out to me.
Since you read the last one.
Okay. I glance at TJ, but he doesn't make any indication that he might want it. The bag is covered in what looks like dirt and cobwebs. A few clumps of both dangle from the bottom. I open it carefully, and when I pull out the paper, I can tell that it's been wet a few times. It's a little crumpled, but when I unfold it, the water damage isn't bad enough that I can't read it. Still, the paper immediately splits in two this time, and I have to hold them up together as I read it. It's dark to the point where I had to have Carl hold up his phone to give me some light. Good job, but that was a little easy, right? Next, we find out how brave you are. I know this was already a scary test for Chase, but that doesn't count. This is you, Seb.
Oh. Do you really remember?
Get a flashlight and make sure Leo is with you. Here it is. Stay in school. It will be cool. We'll have fun in 301. I hope you don't die. Sid. We're all quiet for a moment, then TJ giggles. I look at him, but he's covering his mouth with a hand, so I can't see him smiling.
Oh, that's not really a riddle, is it?
I smile. Go easy on him. He was a kid.
Sorry.
So, the old school in room 301? I assume that's what he meant by a test of courage.
Shoot. He went all there in there by himself? I wouldn't even do that now.
Yeah, that is a little weird. The feeling that something isn't right grows inside my chest.
Well, we have to break the law to get in there. We'd be trespassing.
Jenna glances at TJ because we all know the Lynx wouldn't dare break the law.
Besides, it's getting late. Maybe we can go check it out tomorrow? One of us can go in for you, TJ.
TJ looks up at the sky, where the stars are starting to twinkle through the branches.
Well, if we're going to trespass, we should do it at night, right?
Jenna's mouth falls open.
What?
TJ looks flustered.
I mean, we don't have all that much time left here, so we should probably get as much of it done as we can.
So, you're okay with breaking the law?
Jenna's face.
Yeah, she's
Well-
like,
Yeah, if it means we can finish this.
We all stare at him.
I don't know what else to say. I just really want to get this done. It feels right.
Quiet for a moment before Carl claps his hands together.
Well, alright then. Let's go. We still got a few hours before I'm going to bed.
Jenna sighs loudly.
But I want to get back before 10 so I can finish my papers.
Yeah, don't worry. Onward!
Carl marches ahead of us, taking a running leap to cross the ditch. I look at TJ, who's still looking fidgety again. Hey, we'll finish this before we have to leave, okay? TJ gives me a small smile.
Okay.
Carl says that a cop still patrols Echo randomly at least once a night. Because of that, we let Jenna sit in the car and keep watch. If someone shows up, she'll text us, which should give us time to get out of the back of the school. It still looks suspicious as hell, but as long as we're not caught on the property and have some sort of excuse, we should be fine. At least that's what Carl says. Also, I just want to share, you guys have seen how this school looks in the smoke room. Just look at how bad this place has turned out.
Yeah.
Wait, the school is
wow.
in the smoke room?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it, but that makes sense.
it's the same building.
Wow.
We stand there in front of the door, and I notice that a couple of chains hang loosely off the door. No lock to be found. Well, at least that hasn't changed. Carl shrugs.
And you just break in all the time. No point in putting the lock back on every time.
Carl gives the door a shove, and it slides open very slowly, letting out an unearthly squeal as it does. The three of us stand there, staring into the darkness. TJ fidgets next to me. Having second thoughts?
No.
His voice comes out in a crackly squeak that Carl snorts at.
Just so dark.
Nighttime always has a way of doing that, my man. Good thing I charged my phone before we left.
Carl takes out his phone from his pockets and holds it up before turning on the light.
Mine's almost dead.
We can share. Carl
I like
sweeps
you,
the...
TJ.
What?
He's gonna be so dead, man.
Oh. Carl sweeps the light inside, revealing graffiti covered walls and dirt-covered floors.
Nice.
I look back and see Jenna staring at us from the car. She gives me a thumbs up. I inhale deeply. Well, let's go. I take out my own phone and step inside, and TJ follows me. Carl stands next to us, spinning in a circle.
It's not that creepy.
Okay, so the rooms here are the 200s.
TJ points at the doorway next to us, a small label above it reading 203.
So that means that we have to go up one floor.
Carl sweeps his light around and points to the staircase.
Are we?
Those things better be stable. Carl points his light up the staircase.
I can see some graffiti up there. Probably fine.
The ram leads the way, at first tentatively setting a hoof on the first step before testing the next.
Yeah, it's good.
And with that, he strides up the stairs while TJ and I follow a little more hesitantly.
Why don't they just demolish this place?
Heard they wanted to turn it into a museum. Can't see why, though.
Carl shines his light on the railing. The wood rotted and broken.
Hey, do you guys remember when Chase saw someone staring out from one of the windows up here?
Well, that's reassuring.
Oh my gosh, please don't talk about this right now.
Do you remember that, Chase?
Yeah, actually. That was a long time ago. I hardly remembered, but I do remember seeing a dark form in one of the windows. I've been positive there was just an object sitting in the room, but I wanted to tell my friend that I seen a ghost. It was nothing like what I saw in the trees. Thinking about it is creeping me out, though.
Stop!
TJ whines as we reach the top of the stairs, then, clearly trying to change the subject, points at one up at the door.
Alright, 305, so maybe this way. Chase, let me see your phone.
TJ takes it from me and points it up in the next door over.
Yeah, 304 is the last one down.
He hands me back my phone and stands there for a moment. Carl chuckles.
Want me to go first? Scared?
TJ glares at him. Come on, guys. I want to get out of here, too.
Okay.
Carl leads the way again, down the hall to the very end. There's more stuff in the way on this floor, with a lot of desks and chairs. Carl keeps his light up, counting down the doors.
303, 302, 30... Fuck!
TJ jumps a foot in the air, and I point my light at Carl. What? Carl turns around sheepishly, rubbing his hip.
Run to this stupid desk. Hurt like a mother.
Really, Carl?
TJ clings to me, taking a deep breath.
But here's the door.
Carl points the light back up at the door, and sure enough, there's a 301 up there. TJ and I stand next to him, both staring into the dark room.
Oh
Hey.
gosh, Carl.
I think this might actually be the room you saw the thing staring at you from.
Carl!
It's like, stop.
Carl, that kills people!
Aw.
There's a warning tone in TJ's voice. I rub my chin. Actually, yeah, I think it is. TJ sighs loudly and closes his eyes.
Guys, please, can we just...
Yeah!
Ah!
Carl thrusts his hands into TJ's side as he yells,
Rude,
sending
but I
TJ into
do
a
too.
hysteric fit of screaming and grabbing onto me.
DJ would totally do that.
I would do that, I'm not gonna lie.
I would kill you. I would kill you in real life.
I have a
You'd be dead-
funny
dead in the
story that I'm
ground.
not gonna share right now.
So did.
I stumble as I try to keep the lynx from rending my flesh with his claws.
I
Oh shit. Sorry, Ow!
Carl reaches out to, I assume, comfort TJ, but gets a backhand across the face in response.
Good for you, TJ, man.
Hold on, putting shoes on.
What?
You ass! Ah! TJ sword!
Yeah.
The
What?
gas!
I watch the two of them with wide eyes, never having seen TJ so indignant. Carl stares back, a hand up to his cheek.
I'm not even mad at TJ, I'm kind of proud of him for swearing right now.
That is two in one day. He swore and he did something illegal. What is happening to our precious boy?
Let's start looking.
So I actually have a theory about it that I can only talk about with you at the moment, Harry, so we'll talk to you about it later.
I mean, I think it's like, I think he's
Power.
possessed. I think he's possessed by someone.
Oh my god, just because somebody does two things wrong in a night doesn't make them possessed.
No,
Yes, it does.
No, but hear me out. It's nighttime and he's like, I have a great fucking idea. Let's keep this, like,
Let's do a scavenger hunt.
right, like, let's do this really bad idea dance.
I mean, there's things I can say, but I can't, because if I do, Alan would show up in my room and point a gun at me, so...
I will.
He
learn
would
where you
not.
live. No, I will.
Oh, okay.
You guys, okay, I'm gonna point out, as much as you guys think I like your spoilers and everything, if I think that it's better for you not to get spoiled, I keep that shit locked tight. And Deltarune Chapter 1 is now my proof that I can keep things hidden for months if I need to.
Yeah, dude, that was
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah. I had no idea that was coming.
Hannah straight up said, oh fuck. if
No, I
recall.
said shit.
Which, so Hannah pulled a TJ.
I mean, I say shit fairly frequently.
You do.
You're a lady. Pretty lady.
As if nothing had happened, TJ starts talking to his cats, and then takes my phone and strides into the room, his tail twitching in irritation.
I can't believe you slapped me.
And I can't believe you decided to try to scare me. So fuck off.
Carl calls after him, but gets no response. I smile, trying not to laugh as I walk past the ramp.
Good job, pretty cool.
Carl?
Oh yeah. Can you?
He asks me, rubbing his cheek as he follows me in. Hey, you asked for it. Probably not the best time to be scaring him.
I love it. TJ with claws.
Quite literally.
Yeah, whatever. What the hell are we looking for anyway?
I look around. From what I can see, there is not much left in the room. A few desks are pushed up against the wall, and aside from a chalkboard and map at one end of the room, there's nothing else. I look over to stand by TJ at the end of the room, looking at the desks. There's not much in here, is there? TJ sweeps the light around the room, frowning.
Not really.
He points the light at Carl, who's at the other end of the room by the chalkboard.
Anything written on the chalkboard, Carl? You fucker.
Okay,
Jesus.
wow. Man, TJ just holds onto a grudge, dang. Carl shines his light on the board, then gasps. What?
There it is. It's a whole lot of dick.
Carl steps to the side, pointing his light at the board, and sure enough, it's covered in countless drawings of dicks. TJ sighs. I mean, we were bound to hit a roadblock eventually. I trail off, staring at the window at the far end of the room, where I see a small-looking box on the ledge. What's that?
I almost feel like they're being, like, haunted by him.
I point, and TJ shines the light over at it. A metal toolbox glints back at us. TJ immediately walks over to it, and I follow him. Carl joins us as TJ fiddles with the latches, popping them open. There's a soft creak as he lifts the lid, a tray extending out as he does. And there, sitting in the tray, is another folded piece of paper. There's no way.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
You make no sense. I mean, why not?
TJ gently picks up the note, handing me back my phone.
Shine that on this for me, please.
Someone would have taken it by now.
Well, they didn't, see?
TJ had unfolded it and shows me the handwriting, the exact same we'd seen on the other two notes. I frown, but I don't say anything more. Maybe it did just sit there for the past 10 years, no one wanting to bother with an old-looking toolbox. But this place is broken into regularly with the whole point of being to tag or take stuff. Someone definitely should have taken it by now. And this was all on top of the idea that Sydney came in here as a little kid just to hide a note. Something isn't right, and I'm starting to feel uneasy. I don't have time to dwell on that, though, as TJ begins to read.
So you went to the school. You found it with some tools. Next, go to where I sleep. It's where I keep my secrets, something Chase can't keep. Sit.
It's silent for a moment as we all take that in. I feel my face flush and my fur prickle as I wonder what the hell that last line is supposed to mean. Carl and TJ don't look at me, but I can sense that they want to. Carl was the first one to make a sound, clearing his throat.
So, Sydney's bedroom, maybe?
That's what I'm thinking. This is a kid writing this stuff, so it should be pretty straightforward.
I shake my head. Really, guys? TJ finally looks over at me.
What?
There's a defensive tone in TJ's voice, and I know he knows what I'm about to say. This is way too much. TJ frowns at me.
You much what?
You know. I trail off, not used to TJ looking at me this way. He lets the silence drag on, and I look over to Carl for help. He clears his throat again.
You know, Tej, this is pretty wild. Like, someone would have probably taken it by now.
Why does that have to be the case? People could have just missed it. We almost did.
TJ looks back down at the note, holding it in both paws. I reach out for it, but TJ pulls it back, like I'm going to try and steal it from him.
I said good day, sir.
Can I look at it for a sec? TJ hesitates, then holds it out to me slowly. I eye the links as I reach out, taking the note from him gently. TJ's behavior alone has me deciding that this whole thing is definitely a bad idea. The note looks old, just like the first two we found. The writing looks the same too. Maybe it is possible that Sydney came here to hide the note, wanting to make this scavenger hunt especially scary for us. But still, I can't shake the feeling that something is off about it. I need to find time to really think about this. For now, though, I hand the paper back to TJ, who takes it from me gingerly, as if worried it'll fall apart.
Carl, do you know who lives in Sydney's old house now?
Carl tips his head back as if thinking.
Can't remember his name. He's a red panda, I think.
I made a whole movie about him.
Well, her.
Not, yeah, I was about to say her, yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, by the way, so...
It's so good. It's
No
so good.
spoilers, please, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, let's go then.
I give a start. To the house? His family moved right after it happened. There's no way it's still there, TJ.
The other two were.
This is different, though.
Might as well try.
I can't imagine going up to the new homeowner and telling him about Sydney and this posthumous scavenger hunt, and him just letting us in.
Sure, you're just looking for him. No, come on in.
Although, I
no.
will be honest, there was one time where I was going back to a house I grew up in, and I was driving past it, and Hannah will vouch for me on this one. I was, like, kiddish. I was literally, like, a little kid seeing my old childhood house. And I had half a mind to knock on the door and be like,
I've heard about that
grew up-
before. and
I
mean,
grew up here. Can I just, like, step inside?
Oh yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
about
my
people
mom-
doing that before, and the thing is,
My
though,
mom always wants to, too.
the thing with this though is that this is different. This is not the kid coming back going, I used to live here. This is that kid's friends coming back and going, hey, we used to have a friend who died that used to live here. Can we come in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we see?
It's a very different scenario. And
Can we see your house? Our friend died who lived here.
yeah, and I will admit, I was able to, whenever I was,
In a location. where
yes,
we're
I was
filming.
I was in a location, whereas, I had a job through a camp, and it was actually fairly close to the, place where I, grew up for the first 2 years of my life, and so I was like, hey, let's go and drive by the house. And yes, and I was able to pass by, and and I was like, well, I feel weird about trying to knock and see if I could go in. So I guess I'm just gonna sit here for a bit, and yeah, I'm gonna get going.
You give the house like some quick reference, and you go, "Okay, this is weird now." Yep.
You're like,
I mean, that's what we did to my childhood house. We like gave it reference, and then we're like, "This is probably really freaking these people out. We're gonna go now."
Ah, yeah. But the determined look on TJ's face tells me right away that I won't be able to talk him out of it. I sigh. Well, can we at least do it tomorrow? I look at my phone. It's almost 10.
And I'm sleepy.
I mean, it's only 9:30 in real life. TJ doesn't say anything as he looks out the window. His face barely visible in the darkness.
I realize I need to go, guys. See ya.
Okay.
I have a
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.
I guess.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was Seb who was saying he had to go.
Oh,
So I was gonna say, I guess Carl number 3 is up, which would be me.
no, it was Harry.
Girl number
Oh
3.
man,
Come
you
on
made me
up.
break my chase voice, DJ.
You're
I'm
welcome.
not good.
I'll try to do more of it next time. Don't worry. I like throwing people off.
Carl shifts around next to me.
Oh, being a dick, I will.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty tired. We'll have all day tomorrow.
TJ suddenly turns around and heads for the door.
Fine, but we are going. I am, at least.
Carl glances at me, probably feeling as uneasy as I am.
Being a dick. I'm being a dick.
Yeah, well, he's following Chase's advice. Chase told him to be assertive. He's being assertive.
Yep.
Assertive.
This sounds familiar.
Yeah, but there's assertive and then there's being a dick.
Be assertive. Be assertive.
Assertive.
Hey, I'm coming too. Just think it'll be easier.
TJ doesn't respond, and we make the rest of the treacherous journey out of the school in silence. Jenna looks up from her phone as I slide into the driver's seat.
Find anything?
Yeah,
Another note?
yeah,
Well, what did it say?
yeah. I was hoping to see if someone picked up that I did that.
I was like, wait, what?
I was just going,
Yeah.
where are you?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I busy myself with searching my pockets for the keys, so Jenna turns in her seat to look back at Carl and TJ.
Well...
Next one is at Sydney's old house.
What? Really?
Yes, we're going there tomorrow.
TJ doesn't offer anything more, so Jenna turns back around in her seat and gives me a look. She seems to sense the mood, though, and doesn't question anything further. So as I stick the key into the ignition, TJ speaks up again.
Ace, what did he mean by you not keeping secrets?
A moment of silence goes by before I answer. I don't know. Or I don't remember. It's been a long time. I lie awake next to TJ, listening to the lynx's steady breathing. I've been tossing and turning for the past 3 hours, trying to get some sleep, but my mind won't settle. This whole scavenger hunt has left me with such a bad taste in my mouth. Something about it is especially unsettling, and I've turned it over and over in my mind, examining it from every angle, and now I'm sure of it. I saw that fox hanging in the forest after Sydney died. That's why I was there in the first place. That's why I had been so sad. I turn over to my side, gripping my pillow in both my paws as I stare at the window, or at the wall. Still
The
listening.
To the window!
Yeah.
Oh!
To the thing that's not going to be said.
Aww.
Fun fact, I just started randomly singing that earlier today while I was in the shower.
What?
I don't know why.
You're like,
That was
to the
just-
window!
To the wall.
Okay,
I-
well...
I have no words. I'm just so happy.
Still listening to TJ's soft snoring behind me. So how the hell is any of this
Oh my
happening?
god, stop.
It's
Sorry,
scary,
I can't be soft.
but not because I think Sydney's ghost is riding scavenger hunts or some stupid shit like that.
You dumbass.
No,
Stupid.
someone,
Woo.
no, someone wrote the notes pretending to be Sydney, then planted them around town for us to find. And that someone is likely one of us. Leo, Carl, Jenna, Flynn, or even TJ. Are any of us sick enough to do something like that? If
Yes,
so, who?
Leo.
All of them.
I tried to remember if I told anyone about the incident in the forest before today, but honestly, I can't remember. Apparently, my mom had told some people about it, Jenna's parents for one. But I really can't imagine Jenna being among the aforementioned. Whoever writing them seems to be singling me out too, mentioning the forest and how I told secrets. I rolled back to stare at the ceiling and start wondering about TJ. He's been acting really strange the past few days. His bright, cheerful demeanor almost completely gone after we started the treasure hunt. I guess it's possible that he's upset enough to do something that's as crazy as this.
No, I'm being assertive.
Maybe it could make him feel like he's connecting to the person he watched die over a decade ago. Maybe he did it a long time ago, and it's only now that we've come across them. Maybe he can't remember because he buried those memories. Those papers do seem pretty old, but I can't shake the feeling that this person has it out for me in some way.
Be right back.
Okay.
I think about how Carl was the one to find the first letter, but I almost immediately dismissed the idea that Carl might be involved. He would have no reason to do it. Unless... The only other person I can imagine doing this is Flynn. He was the one most upset about Sydney's death aside from TJ. Carl and Flynn seem to have grown pretty close over the past year or so. Could the two of them be involved somehow? It's pretty suspicious that would just show up in Carl's basement. I roll back to my side, preferring to stare at the wall. I don't like suspecting my friends like this, but this whole thing is messed up on so many levels, and I'm really worried about TJ. Depending on how this all ends, it could make things even worse for him. Considering how Flynn treated TJ at the river, I wouldn't be surprised if it's leading up to something terrible. And on top of all that, there's the insidious way that these rhymes refer to me. I decide that I'm going to have to do something after we find the next note, depending on what it says. If we even find it at all. I'm hoping that we don't. So this is childhood scene.
Good. And except had to step away for a moment.
I know. So do we want to wait for Seb, or do we want to just have Carl number 3 pop in?
I'm back up, Carl.
Yep, Carl. Child Carl.
Do your best child Carl voice.
If you go in, I'll give you $1.
I like how different that sounds from what Matt did earlier. Where Matt just didn't change the voice at all.
Aw. Baby DJ. $5.
Carl
Oh,
is so
he's like
cute.
12. Sorry, I had him at like 10. He's like 12.
No, he is 12. He is 10.
Oh, he already has his
because-
horns at 10? No way.
Yeah. But remember, it's the horns growing in even more. So this is just like baby horns right now.
$5.
Oh.
10.
No.
You could buy like 20 candy bars with that money.
Go in.
All right. Quit yelling.
I'm not yelling.
Carl and I swing side by side, synchronizing our legs so that we swing back and forth at the same time. As always, it doesn't work because Carl's so much heavier than I am. The wind feels good on
Wow.
her, finally cooling me down after being out in the heat all day. Toby sits on the top of the slide next to us, watching with a bored look on his face.
It's my turn, Chase.
In a minute.
It's been like 15 minutes.
Nuh-uh. Toby sighs and sits back, pouting. I look back at the old school and smile. But if you go inside, I'll let you.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no. Didn't go
Fuck
through.
off.
Nothing. Not hearing anything.
Good enough. Toby's shout seems to echo around us in a giggle. Fine, fine. We swing a little longer, the rhythmic squeaking of the chains being the only sound.
Oh.
Chase.
All right, that's me. Sorry. When's Sydney coming back with that popsicle? He's taking forever.
Maybe his mom caught him and made him stay home.
Uh,
Carl leans far back in the swing, and I feel the entire thing shift around. I wonder if it's gonna collapse.
we should go to your house, Chase. It's too hot.
Swing.
I lower my feet and let them kick through the dirt as I slow myself down, seeing a cloud of dust in the air. This talk about Sydney reminds me of something I've been told about yesterday, and now that he isn't here. Hey guys, my mom told me something about Sid yesterday. Toby's already slid down the slide and walked up next to me, holding one of the chains on the swing as he tries to push me out of the seat. Don't push me, Toby. Don't you want to hear it? It's a secret. I move to stand between the two swings as Carl kicks his hooves into the dirt next to us.
He's swinging. Carl, I want to swing with you.
Wait, what's the secret?
Carl?
Wait a minute, it's really weird. That seems to finally catch Toby's attention, and he settles down.
What?
Carl and Toby stare at me, and for the first time, I feel a little worried about telling them, but having their full attention like this is kind of cool. You know what happened to Sid's dad a while ago when school started, right?
Yeah?
Carl's completely stopped on the swing now, staring at me. Well, my mom says that the cops think it's really weird what happened.
His dad died. He's in heaven now.
Toby says it matter-of-factly and starts to swing a little again.
Even if you're a Mormon, you can go to heaven. My dad says...
Whoa! Shots fired!
Oh, that just hit me as I said at the finish line. I'm like,
no!
Yeah.
We apologize to the
Yeah.
Mormon
Christianity do be like that.
I mean, yes. Sometimes. Somewhat.
Wow.
Yeah, but do you know how he died? I start whispering and look over my shoulder at the dirt road to see if Sid is coming. It's empty for now.
He accidentally got shot when he was hunting with Sid.
That's what the adults told us, that he was accidentally shot, maybe while he was loading his gun. My mom said they aren't sure if that's what really happened, though.
What do you mean?
Toby seems to have taken interest again and stopped swinging, staring at me. Well, maybe Sid did something. Carl frowns.
Like, Sydney did it?
I mean, I don't know, but my mom said to be careful around him, just in case.
Whoa!
crap. Holy crap.
Toby's eyes suddenly widen even more as he suddenly understands.
Killed his dad?
Shh! Toby flinches as I grab his muzzle with one paw, squeezing it shut. You have to keep it a secret.
No.
Toby just sits there, staring at me. Carl does the same. Now I kind of wish I hadn't told them. They don't know, though. My mom just said to be careful. That's it. It might have been an accident. I kind of talk fast, like I'm trying to take back what I just said. I let go of Toby, but he just sits there and doesn't swing. Carl just stares at the ground. Then his ears flick up.
Why are you being a bad cat?
Because he can. Your cat's gonna be as bad as he wants to be.
He's Angie after all. He's a bad boy.
No.
What?
A few seconds later, I hear scuffling footsteps making their way up the dirt road, and I turn around to see Sydney jogging toward us. His arms are filled with colorful ice pops wrapped in plastic. Alright, who wants to be Sydney?
Kid.
I guess since it's been a while since I've had Jenna to voice, I could be Sydney.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, sorry. I had to go in the basement freezer to find some. They're super wolf pops.
He stumbles up next to us, kicking up another cloud of dust. He stands there for a second, breathing heavy, sweating through his thick fur.
Grab one?
The three of us reach out automatically and take one of our own. Mine is partially melted already, blue liquid pulling at one end of the plastic. Sydney frowns at us.
What were you guys talking about?
Oh, nothing. Just how, we think you killed somebody.
Not just somebody, his own dad.
Nothing.
Carl says it almost before Sydney can finish his sentence. Sydney glares.
Yeah, right. What were you saying about me?
Sydney turns on me, and I just shake my head, busying myself with opening the plastic. Then Sydney turns to Toby, his glare turning into a smirk.
All right, Tobias. You'd better tell me what you were talking about.
I feel my stomach turn even as I open the package and turn it upside down to pour the sweet blue juice into my mouth.
Tell me or I'm gonna wrestle ya.
Sydney goes at Toby with his paws up, baring his blunt claws. Toby eyes him for a moment, but once Sydney gets close, the lynx twists out of the way, only like only a cat can. That is so hard for me to say. Toby eyes him for a moment, but once Sydney gets close to the lynx, God, so much of it. Once Sydney gets close, the lynx twists out of the way like only a cat can.
Hey! Don't touch me!
Toby hides behind Carl and I as Sydney turns to watch him, lowering his paws slowly.
What's wrong?
Toby doesn't say anything, staying behind me quietly. I can feel his cold ice pop pressing against my back. We stay in silence for a while, and I can see Sydney trying to figure out what's going on. I try to think of something fast. Hey, let's go to my house and play on the trampoline.
Yeah?
that voice crack.
Carl's going through puberty, guys.
Carl hops off out of the swing and starts walking toward the road. I follow him as Toby clings to my side. Sydney doesn't follow, and after a moment I turn back to look at him. He's glaring at me. What? He goes on glaring before throwing his ice pop into the dirt and running past us.
You guys suck.
He runs up the road and back toward town, disappearing into the bright sunset. Hey, we did it! We got all the way through Thursday, and it's Friday now.
Ooh, it's Friday.
Oh my gosh, stop.
Yeah, just in time for somebody to join us. Who just joined?
It was Matt.
Matt.
Welcome, Matt. All right. Well, say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.